Group 7, and our project is our STG of our project is uh, Good Health and Well-being, where we have targeted mental health as our core problem. So these are the team members for my group: Ramin, Laiba, Ariba, Mahir, Aksa, Ilsa, Maria, and Mubashara. We all collectively work together equally to promote and mental health and for the betterment of the society. Mental health has been a problem for many years, which has been overlooked due to many unsure reasons. Mental health is the foundation to academic stress and community resilience, yet remains heavily stigmatized and overlooked, leaving 1/8 of a person globally suffering in silence. Where the research by WHO has said that out of 10 people, majority of the people are suffering from mental health silently due to the fact that if they spoke up over it or they talk about it, will be faced discrimination, stigmatization, or even mockery from their peers. Our mission as students of university was to make other students feel seen, heard, and supportive, and also to give them a better understanding of how to deal with this, even if they are dealing with themselves or if their friends or any person in their family is going through this. I would like Mubashra to continue.
Hello everyone, this is Mubashir and today I'm here to talk about the core objectives of our project. We started by focusing on education through our online sessions. We were able to reach and educate more than 50 students, but for us it was never about hitting a large number or setting a target just for the sake of it. Even if we reach a small group, those students mattered. Each individual we connected with was valuable. Alongside the online session, we also organized awareness activities and conducted on campus workshops. These sessions went really well. They allowed us to interact more personally, create open conversation, and build a space where students felt heard. We didn't stop at awareness alone, we also tried to provide practical support. We worked on distributing helpful resources and even initiated fundraising efforts. One of the most impactful parts of our project was hosting a second session with a psychologist, completely free for students who attended. But beyond everything we organized, the most important message we tried to deliver was that it's okay to seek help. There's a strong stigma around mental health. People often feel judged through our efforts. We try to promote health seeking behaviors and create an environment where students feel safe to speak up, to share, and to support one another.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Ariba Munib. To understand why we felt this initiative was so necessary, let us look at the data. As of 2019, approximately 970 million people around the world were living with a mental health condition. To put that into perspective, that is nearly 1 in every 8 people on this planet, almost a billion people, and that was before the world went through one of its most difficult periods in recent history. Then came the pandemic. COVID 19 did not just affect people physically, it took a severe toll on mental well being worldwide. Anxiety and depression levels spiked by 25% during the pandemic period. People were isolated, uncertain, grieving, and overwhelmed, and mental health system around the world were simply not equipped to handle that scale of need. Communities that were already struggling found themselves pushed even further to the edge. And what does it all of this cost? The global economic impact of mental health conditions stands at $1 trillion every single year, lost purely through reduced productivity. People unable to work, unable to function, unable to show up fully in their lives. That is $1 trillion not because of physical illness, not because of infrastructure failures, but because of a crisis that largely goes unaddressed and unspoken. Mental health is not just a personal issue, it is an economic one, a social one, and a humanitarian one. Now, let us look at what this means for us right here in Pakistan. 24 million Pakistanis are currently affected by mental health conditions that account for 10 to 15% of our entire population. Think about that for a moment. Any classroom, in any workplace, in any family gathering, a significant portion of the people around you may be silently dealing with something they feel they cannot speak about. And who is available to help them? Pakistan currently has only 0.19 psychiatrists per 100,000 people. That is not even one psychiatrist for every 100,000 individuals. The demand is in millions. The professional support available is a fraction of what is needed. This gap is not just concerning, it is alarming. It means that the vast majority of people who need help are not receiving it, not because they do not want it, but because the resources simply are not there. The consequences of this gap are not invisible. The annual economic burden of untreated mental illness in Pakistan reached 616.9 billion in 2020. Untreated meaning people are struggling without any professional support, without diagnosis, without care. And the country bears the weight of that in lost human potential, in reduced productivity, in families and communities that are quietly breaking under pressure they were never equipped to carry alone. When we look at these numbers together, it becomes very clear why addressing mental health could not wait any longer. Now, Maria would like to continue this.
This is Maria, and we have talked about how Pakistan has around 24 million people affected by mental health conditions, roughly 10 to 15% of the population. We talked about stigma, underfunding, and a healthcare system that simply doesn't have enough professionals to meet the demand. But as we actually worked on this project over the past few months, something became very clear to us that the crisis doesn't just exist out there in the general population, it exists right here on campus in our classrooms among us. So this slide zooms in on that reality. On a personal level, we call the micro. University students in Karachi are navigating a very specific kind of stress. It's not just about academic pressure. It's also family expectations, financial anxiety, and the general weight of living under a high pressure urban environment, all at the same time. And the consequences are visible. We've all seen it. Peers who suddenly stop showing up, friends who go quiet, classmates who disappear from group chats, students struggling in complete isolation. The data reflects this too. Anxiety prevalence among university students is 17% higher than regional averages. It's not just a small gap. And then there's the macro, the bigger picture. And this is what really drove our mission. When stigma pushes people into silence, when mental health goes untreated, it doesn't just hurt the individual, it stalls national development. Students who drop out, professionals who burn out, communities that never reach their potential. This feeds into a cycle that directly undermines SDG 4, which is quality education, and SDG 1, poverty reduction. In short, this is not just a personal problem that students have to get over with, it is a systemic issue with consequences. And recognizing the gap between the scale of the problem and the response to it is exactly what pushed us back. Now, I would like the next person to continue. Now Mahir will be taking over.
Assalamu alaikum, this is Mahir, and today we reflect on a pressing issue that touches the lives of many in our society. As we delve into the details of our project aligned with the Sustainable Development Goal 3, we confront the severe cultural stigma surrounding mental health in Pakistan. The stigma not only isolates individuals but also creates a significant barrier to accessing the care they desperately need. Our current healthcare system reveals a dire gap in mental health services with fewer than 2% donor funding directed towards the critical area. This shortfall leaves countless individuals without the support they require. To bridge the systematic care gap, we must embrace innovative solutions. Telepsychiatry and helplines prevent us with opportunities to circumvent physical barriers, allowing individuals to seek help from their home. And by leveraging technology, we can reach those who might otherwise suffer in silence. Moreover, we recognize the importance of peer led support. By fostering safe, judgment free spaces on campuses, we empower individuals to share their experiences and seek help without fear of stigma. These spaces can transform the conversation around mental health, making it more acceptable and approachable. Looking to the future, we must address the extreme shortage of licensed mental health professionals. Digital advocacy is a great pivotal role in breaking the chains of stigma. by using accessible media like social media. We use YouTube, Instagram, and other websites to promote our ideas for the need to seek help. Thank you.
Now Laiba will be continuing with her part.
Hello, this is Laiba. Our three-pronged intervention model, we had fundraising and resourcing allocation, in which हमने mobilizing capitals on off-campus to subsidize treatment efforts and print education materials. इसमें हमने fundraising session किया था, हमने online session किया था, हमने live engagement की थी, हमने digital campaign की थी, हमने इसमें physical awareness spread की थी, हमने even though it was on a small scale, हमने सिर्फ अपने students में किया था और हमने कि we could reach out and spread our word. हमने लाइव सेशंस भी रखे थे जिसमें हमने मेंटल हेल्थ अवेयरनेस स्प्रेड करने की कोशिश की थी और डिजिटल कैंपेन करने की कोशिश की थी. ओके, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. फेज वन वाज टारगेट डेलीगेशन, जिसमें हमने एनजीओ को कांटेक्ट किया था. सबसे पहली एनजीओ जो हमने कांटेक्ट की थी दैट वाज टीसीएफ. उसमें महविश सरफराज थी. शी इज एन एमफिल इन एजुकेशन और उन्होंने हमारा सेशन होल्ड किया था जिसमें we learned के how to recognize signs of stress, anxiety and burnout, why emotional well-being matters, simple habits to protect your mental health, and when and how you need to seek help. मतलब कि these all help in student life और we tried to spread awareness as much as we could. Phase 2 में it was digital launch. We posted online on Instagram, on YouTube, on Facebook and various other social media platforms के we could spread our word, अवेयरनेस फैला सके हम अबाउट मेंटल हेल्थ और जो स्टूडेंट्स भी सफ़र कर रहे हैं. फेज थ्री में देयर वाज रिसोर्सेज मोबिलाइजेशन, एग्जीक्यूशन ऑफ कम्युनिटी एंड कैंपस फंडरेजिंग. इसमें हमने बेसिकली इंटरव्यूज लिए थे ऑफ डिफरेंट पीपल ऑन आवर कैंपस और मे बी कि अगर वो मेंटल हेल्थ से सफ़र कर रहे हैं या मे बी वी कुड हेल्प देम इन एनी वे. Phase 4 was live delivery, hosting the foundation awareness session followed the expert consultation session. इसमें uh, we had a professional we had a professional psychologist जिन्होंने which was uh, Asmina Khan and she is a therapist और उनका बहुत अच्छा एक्सपीरियंस है. she has 6+ experience in mental health field और she has a master's degree और उन्होंने हमारी सेशन होल्ड किया था अबाउट मेंटल हेल्थ जिसमें वो स्टूडेंट्स को मतलब कि एकेडमिक प्रेशर या सोशल एक्सपेक्टेशन या इमोशनल चैलेंजेस से दैट आर नेवर टॉक्ड अबाउट. उन्होंने उनको मतलब हेल्प करने की कोशिश की, अवेयरनेस स्प्रेड की, इनकरेज देम टू ओपन अप अबाउट कॉन्वर्जेशन एंड सपोर्टेड स्टूडेंट्स और शी हेल्ड अ वेरी वेरी गुड session online. Thank you. Next
Now
person can
I would
continue.
like Ramin to take over.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Ramin Nasir. Now I will explain how our project moved from awareness to professional consultation and how we handled challenges from awareness to consultation. Awareness session. First, we conducted an online awareness session. It was a webinar for students from different platforms. The main goal was to share important information about mental health, provide self-assessment tools, and guide students about available support options. Consultation session. After that, we organized a professional consultation session. A licensed psychologist joined us online from abroad. The session included lecture and the 30-minute anonymous question and answer. Students discuss important topics like panic attacks, relationship stress, and academic burnout. This helps students feel comfortable and ask personal questions without fear. Challenges and solutions. Roadblocks. However, we faced a major challenge due to Ramzan timing and the psychologist being abroad, physical attendance was not possible. Pivot. To solve this, we consulted our supervisor, Ma'am Sabah Hashmi. With her guidance, we decided to change our strategy and shift our approach. Solution. We moved our event to an online Google Meet format. This saved time, allowed expert participation, and gave students a safe and semi-anonymous space to share their concerns. In this way, we successfully managed this challenge. Overall, the process shows us how proper planning and flexibility can help us turn challenges into successful outcomes. Thank you.
Now, Aksa will continue the part.
Hi, this is Miaxa, and I will talk about tangible impacts and outcomes. About 50 plus students engaged and educated in the initial foundational awareness session. About 70 plus students successfully onboarded into the final professional psychological consultation session. About 8,000 plus rupees total capital raised by the community and campus channels to subsidize project material and direct student support. Qualitative win tremendous positive feedback from attendants who reported a newfound feeling of being heard and acquiring actionable stress management tactics. tactics. And we have used multiple platforms to spread the awareness among the students like continuous multi-channel development across Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube under the Young Mind Betterment page. Content strategy, daily posting of infographics, copying strategies, and event reminders pushed aggressively through WhatsApp networks and via other apps. The P the PSA core message, "You're not alone." The campaign systematically destigmatized struggles, showcased local resources, and built the digital trust required to drive physical session attendance. All about our session, we received tremendous feedbacks and unexpected outcome through our project. So I would like to call the Bia to continue it furthermore, and uh,
So, um, guys, for slide number 13, we're gonna be talking about our group reflection and lesson. We understand a lot about collaboration, which was really one of the most interesting part of our presentation, where we had to compromise and look from other perspective while working with other people. We reached out to multiple different organizations, um, institutes, and we had such experience learning to collaborate from others. While working with the NGO, we learned how to basically work in a professional setting. What are the adaptability? How do we understand a basic office environment? How do we conduct a more impactful presentation? How do we make basic facts and figures? We also understand logistic failures where there were due to war we had a certain lockdown where we had to shift our physical events to digital softwares, which was quite hard. We also realized that while we were working on mental health is such an important topic, uh, as I bet a lot of people are suffering with that. So we had to make an impact that will be recognized and would be working with the student long term. We want to give our best to the community and improve the well-being of the people surrounding us. Now I would like Ilsa to continue.
Hi, I'm Ilsa. This slide highlights the division of labor and execution of our project. Each team member played an important role in making this initiative possible. First and foremost, for project leadership and presentation, Abia Moiddin guided the overall direction and ensured that our message remained clear, focused, and impactful. For social media and digital execution, Laba Fatma, Abia, and Maria Faraz worked on spreading awareness, creating engaging content, and helping us reach a wider student audience. Our fundraising operations were managed by Mahir Ali and Mubashra Javed, who helped secure the resources needed to support our activities and making the project sustainable. Professional and NGO outreach was handled by me and Ramin Nasser. We connected the professionals and organizations to strengthen the credibility and impact our mental health initiative. Finally, logistics, design, and print materials were managed by Aksa and Ariba Munib, who ensured everything from visuals to arrangements was organized smoothly. Next slide. Okay, so through this project, our main goal was to foster a culture of support and create a safe environment where students feel comfortable discussing mental health. We recognize that many students struggle silently due to stigma, fear of judgment, or lack of awareness. Because of this, we focus on promoting openness, empathy, and accessibility. Our SDG 3 initiative aimed to encourage mental health positivity by starting conversations, spreading awareness, and making students feel less alone in their experiences. We emphasize that mental health is just as important as physical health, and seeking help should be and seen as strength and a sign of courage rather than weakness. Moving forward, we want to continue building a campus culture where students feel safe reaching out, whether to friends, faculty, or professionals. Our vision is to normalize conversations about stress, anxiety, and emotional well being, and to encourage peer support systems without student community. Ultimately, we hope this initiative contributes to a campus where no student feel isolated, where mental health awareness becomes part of everyday conversation, and where we understand everyone and help them feel supported and valued. Thank you.
As concluding, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us in the comments. We will be really open to guiding you all and answering your question. For the conclusion, I would like to thank my team members, our teacher, Ms. Sabah Hashmi, who have guided and given us such amazing project where we get to understand the community and also help our community as much as we can. For concluding, I would like to quote a really important person who have guided me in my mental health struggle, as well as a lot of you people, a member from BTS, Sugar, as he quote, I really want to say that everyone is sad. I hope we can create an environment where we can ask for help and say things that are hard when they are hard. That reminds us that feeling overwhelmed isn't a sign of weakness, but a part of being human. Lastly, I would like to conclude. We started this session with the goal of creating a space where mental health is treated with the same importance as physical health. Through our awareness efforts and consultation sessions, we hope you've realized that asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It is the ultimate sign of strength. This journey to mental health wellness is a marathon, not a sprint. Please look out for yourself and look out for others around you. Thank you for being a part of our conversation, for being in every step of us through this project, and for watching our presentation. Thank you everyone so much. We are Group 7. Thank you.